What are you doing?
Don't film this.
I'm about 70 yards away from this.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Because you've established that you're a big piece of shit. So, that's what you are.
All right, thank you for your
You're
time.
a vulture, and maybe you'll be one of those guys one day.
Maybe someone will take a picture.
Okay, so today I'm out here at Green Lake in Seattle, and I'm just walking along, took my camera to take some photos or maybe do a vlog like this, when out of the corner of my eye I see people yelling and giving CPR to someone who's on the ground. So of course I just go over there, I have my camera, I stay pretty far away, and I just kind of see what's going on. Of course there's all this coronavirus stuff happening, someone's dropping dead in the streets, and I'm very curious, and I also think from a YouTuber perspective that I'd like to share a little bit of what's going on. I'm pretty far away, but some people come up to me and tell me that I'm being a vulture for photographing or filming what's going on. So watch this exchange.
Dude,
What are you doing? Why are you filming this?
Don't film this. This is inappropriate. This is inappropriate. Don't film this.
I'm about 70 yards away from this.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Dude,
Have
what
a
are you
little
doing?
respect. Come on.
Guy's dead right now. I'm getting CPR. You're throwing that?
Yeah, I guess I'm filming. I'm seeing what's going on around the place that I live, and
Yeah, I live here too.
okay.
It's kind of a dick move, right?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think from this far, I don't think it's a dick move, no.
I think
it
this
is, yeah.
Yeah, this is somebody's dignity that you're capturing.
How?
I could explain it to you, but I'm guessing it's going to take a while for you to understand it. So I'd rather not.
I'm not in a hurry. I think I'm far enough away that I'm being respectful.
Do you think you're being respectful and taking pictures of somebody while they're getting coded? And
I'm not, actually can't even see the person that is on this. This is a 30 millimeter lens. Like what I'm getting is
I mean,
the bigger
you know you're
picture.
being disrespectful.
Yeah.
I don't think I am. And
I think you are.
You're being a vulture, and you're trying to somehow be involved in taking away someone else's dignity. You should be fucking ashamed. That's the truth.
wow,
Yeah.
it's an interesting perspective. I mean, I'll consider that.
You don't have to consider it because you've established that you're a big piece of shit. So, that's what you are.
All right, thank you for your
You're a
time.
vulture, and maybe you'll be one of those guys one day.
Maybe someone will take a picture.
Now, I was willing to hear their side of the story, but I also think that from a journalistic approach, I'm not really sure what the issue was. I obviously didn't get the guy's face, and I don't want to go into the details. This vlog is not going to be entirely about that experience, but I am curious. Comment below when something happens around you and you have the opportunity to film and share, particularly in a time like this in Seattle when crazy things are happening and you have 8 paramedics in hazmat suits performing CPR in the street at a park, and you definitely wonder and you want to know a little bit more. So comment below, is it appropriate, is it inappropriate? Do you think that I was in the wrong there and should I have not been filming? Or does it really not make a difference? Or am I even benefiting, bringing benefit to the community by sharing what's going on from a citizen's perspective? That leads me into what I really want to talk about today, which is fear. What we're being told right now is to not interact with people, to stay indoors essentially, and to self-isolate, social distancing. The way that this is going to be resolved and fixed with the coronavirus is by staying apart. However, the more time I spend indoors by myself, the more time I spend on scrolling through news feeds and YouTube videos, the more I am instilled with this deep sense of fear. And it's got me really conflicted about what's right and what's wrong and the severity of this and if I'm responsible or if I'm not, and if the rules that are being put into place right now really make sense for the severity of the situation. Just going outside for a few minutes, even despite what I just saw, reminds me that the world is still beautiful. But generally speaking, it's hard to know exactly how worried and concerned we should be. But what I would like to say today is that it's absolutely unnecessary and incredibly counterproductive to live in fear. And while we can take precautions necessary, assuming that the extent of this virus is completely legitimate, you can wash your hands more and you can be careful when you're around people. But what's happening now, particularly through the media, is fear. And everywhere you look online, it's fear. And the absolute best way to control a population is fear. I just went to the doctor to get x-rays of my foot, so not a virology doctor, but a doctor nonetheless, and I asked her, how are you feeling about all this? And she said, well, the craziest thing about all of this is that we are being told to fear something that we cannot see. It is the ultimate way to control a population, to get the population itself to be in fear. Now, absolutely, I'm gonna take the precautions and assume that what's happening globally is legitimately tragic. But what I refuse to do is to live in fear. I'm not going to not go outside. I'm not going to not go to a park like this and enjoy being in the sunshine. I'm not going to make my decisions based on being scared of something that I've never seen or felt or experienced, but in being told to obey. That said, I'm also not going to go walk into a bunch of senior citizen housing, and I'm not going to be in incredibly large groups of people right now, and I'm going to wash my hands more often, and I'm not going to be careless, and I'm going to respect the ideas that are coming out from experts about how to control this. And I think it's extremely important that now more than ever we do not live in fear. And we may need to attack this COVID-19 pandemic, but we need to attack it from a place of collaboration and trust. We cannot allow this fear, this invisible fear, to control our lives for the next 3, 6, 12, or 18 months. There are so many repercussions of what can happen in the next 8 months, particularly around the current administration in the United States. And what will happen if we're on global lockdown when the next election happens? Now, I refuse to let this fear take over my life, control my life, and tell me what to do. So I think that as a society, we need to make the choice to take the precautions that keep our population safe while living a life that is full and complete. If we don't stick up for our rights now, it may end up being too late. So I agree with recommending social distancing. I agree with isolating and quarantining those who are infected. And this is something that we need to work together on. And now more than ever, even when we're told not to, we need to be there for each other. And if not in physical space, in an energetic space. And we need to come at this thing and rise above it. And we cannot go at it with fear of losing, but we need to go at it with the love and transparency and knowledge that we will overcome hardship. And that mentality, that swing, is significant. The difference between a global population captured and contained in their fear of an invisible enemy and the love and collaboration of a population that is there for each other to survive and to thrive and to progress humanity. That could be the difference between a human population that is enslaved by an invisible enemy. Fear is the most powerful ruler of all, and the only way to defeat fear is with love. Anger and hatred and reaction is not going to defeat this administration. It's not going to defeat this virus. What is going to defeat it is all of us coming together, if not in the physical space, then in the energetic one, to rise above this with love, with compassion, and with collaboration.